Hello guys, theBolderBoulder here on EpicMOCers. And as of this video, I am currently the newest member of this group here on YouTube. And if you haven't seen my original channel, please go ahead and check it out. I will have a link down in the description, and you could also find a link on the EpicMOCers channel. So, let's get on with the review, shall we? This is my latest Bionicle MOC, and he is known as the Warlord. But the fact is, he doesn't even remember his own name. Nobody knows his real name, or what he used to be known as anyway. People only know him as his new name, the Warlord. In fact, the only thing he remembers is that long ago, he was once a great warrior, very powerful, very skilled, thought to be unstoppable. So, everyone on his side wanted to be on his squadron. But, one day, during a battle, him and his squadron were trapped, ambushed, and his whole squad was killed, except for him. And he was taken to the enemy base, and they were questioning him, interrogating him, trying to get information. He didn't tell them anything. So, they tortured him to get information. And he still kept his mouth closed, didn't say a word. So, they got so irritated that he didn't tell them anything. His enemies eventually just mutilated him and killed him, and left what remained of his body on the ground, and left him. Then, years later, after that incident, a person known as the Spark, or at least that's what he likes to be called anyway, found what was left of his body and attempted to reassemble what was left, and didn't have enough parts of the body to be able to reconstruct it. So he took it back to his place and had to build complete robotic parts for it to be able to be put back together. So now he is mostly robotic and not biomechanical. The only things that survived are the red parts on his body, except for these parts on his sword that are just added there by Spark. And he was given a lot of armor to bulk him up, and he's made a lot stronger. One of the few things that was the most important that survived was his head, mask, and brain. And there's also a motto that the Spark likes to say. He says, "Pain is weakness leaving the body." And so, since the Warlord went through so much pain, he no longer feels pain. He still can touch, he has a sense of feeling, but really, he doesn't feel any pain. He could be stabbed, and he'd still be fine. And now, he has a new mission that was decided by the Spark, that his new mission is to destroy the weak and keep the strong. So it's pretty much survival of the fittest. No one has ever survived an attack from the Warlord, and I'm sure no one ever will, because he's even stronger than before. And he still has most of the skills he had whenever he was a warrior. So he's very deadly, very dangerous. So, I'll give you a closer look at all the features on this MOC. In this arm, it is completely robotic, and this is a hand from my design. I actually used this same kind on a different MOC on my main channel, but I thought it looked good enough to put on this MOC. And the fingers are actually approximately the same length as the ones on this hand. So that's how it turned out. I liked how this arm turned out. Looks pretty cool in my opinion. It even has this weapon right here, his gun, that he's able to lock in place, and he can use that to fire at his opponents, shoot down enemies, because he's not going to be defeated this time. No. It has single fire and rapid fire features. It even has a built-in silencer. Well, it mainly muffles the sound, so he could use it something like a sniper rifle, or he can use it as an automatic weapon. With the automatic, it doesn't have a silencer because it's so many bullets going through. So he really doesn't care which he uses, because if someone does find him, they're dead meat. So let's look at his other arm. As you can see, both the arms are different, and he still has some remaining armor right here and here on his arms, and he's got new silver hand. And here's his sword, that is practically the same as he had before when he was a warrior. One of the few things Spark actually found, he extended the handle so that Warlord could hold it with both hands and be able to put a lot more power into the swing of his weapon, if in fact he did get to hand-in-hand fighting. And let's look at his torso. Found some remaining armor and his body, and even the leg connectors are still red. Some of the few things that survived, but he did have to put in some new black armor to replace what he used to have. And he's got this light right here that pretty much shows his status. Right here is his head, and one of the new things he can do now is that he can turn his head all the way around, because he feels no pain, which is part of the reason why he's able to do that, and because he's a lot more flexible than he used to be. Then let's take a quick look. Right here, he still has red armor right here on his sides, and he's got plenty of armor right here on his legs to protect anything from happening to them. Still has red armor here on the back of his legs, and his feet are some of the few things that actually remained intact after he was mutilated. And right here on his back are what look to be like wings. Suppose you could call them that, because he is able to levitate, and if he's able to levitate off of a very high point, he's able to use these to glide. So it's more of a hang glider, I guess you could call it. It's used for more of intimidation than anything, I suppose you could say. Then, right here is a gun that is able to turn around like this, and it's got this red sphere right here that is a built-in sensor where he can detect enemies and fire at them, and it even detects things he may not see already, and it pretty much has its own artificial intelligence, finds them and fires at it. So you wouldn't want to be around that little thing. And if you go back here, when it folds back all the way, like so, it is actually used as I guess a third eye. It can detect if there is someone approaching from behind. So all the warlord has to do is spin around quickly and see who it is. If it's a friend or a foe. And if it's an enemy, he can quickly draw his weapon and have it locked on them immediately. And no one escapes his wrath. So his mission is to destroy the weak and keep the strong. So he's very deadly, and no one would want to meet up with this guy unless, of course, he planned to work with you. But he only prefers to work for the Spark, the person who practically brought him back to life. So, suppose that's it for now. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe if you like this MOC, and I'll be uploading more videos to this channel, and I will also be uploading some Hero Factory MOCs as well. So, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to check out the other group members' channels as well. Be sure to subscribe to them too. So, have a great day, guys. Bye.